Here's my question, one that maybe you can post and answer on YouTube for your viewers. Our earliest ancestors did eat fruit for millions of years, but they also ate insects and soft leafy greens. Wouldn't that make us omnivores? No, not really. No, it makes us opportunists and ability to have something to eat. But you also found this more in those that did migrate. I was reading the take of National Geographic on paleo thinkers, and they were dismantling it, saying that paleo man did more of this, the leafy greens and the insects and the fruit that they could find. They were hunter-gatherers, but not so much hunters in terms of animal meat. You know, we're more of a vegetarian species. But just look at the design of the human being. You don't have to go into what we've had to do to survive on the planet, but go into the design of the human and that sort of thing. When you get into the proteins and things, there's nothing of an insect or an animal food that we need. We're superior beings. Not that we're better or anything like that, because we all come from the same source. No, I don't mean anything like that. But in terms of design, functionability, conscious awareness, ability to create things, well, the vertebrates on the planet, we're at the top of that. So you would think then we want to do better. There's no need to eat an insect. I see primates on islands that eat these they're like little clams that grow on the rocks because they're trapped on this island. They're whatever fruits that are in season, and then they've got to go hunting for something else. Ideally, of course, everything would be fruit for them. But if you have some tender greens and stuff, I have no problems with any of that, to be honest with you. If you want to eat bugs once in a while, who cares? But if you want to get yourself well and repair any damage or tumors in your body and get rid of them and all that, you do have to belly up to the fruitarian levels. And what about our brains and height? They only started getting bigger during the paleo. Now, remember, National Geographic disagrees with that statement quite a bit, and I do too. It isn't brain size. My Chihuahua's brain is about that big, and he's much smarter than my Shih Tzu, whose brain is much bigger. It's not about brain size. That's an insult. That's a kind of man's thinking. He had protein. Man was a meat eater, and that's why his brain's so. I've heard that bullshit for years, and that's just insanely stupid. But it comes from meat eaters. It comes from people that like and enjoy meat eating. I've got people that thought that, ran to the paleo, and now running back to us like crazy. You know, some of the things that are out there, some of the propaganda that it's out there, my friend, don't believe it, and Jason, it's not true. Not true at all. And I trust National Geographic over. That has nothing. Look at the brain of a silverback ape. He's more our species, and he's considered one of the two most powerful animals on the planet. Granted, now that they're pushing him up in the mountains, they're on more greens. But you can link them to orangutans. These guys can rip the biggest human there ever was apart. And the babies can do that. We have to get with this, man. We have to drop this paleo bullcrap thinking and get to the fact that we're a higher evolved species and claim that right. People that want to keep claiming caveman mentality and paleo thinking, and that's not even accurate. So, you know, when people want to be accurate, you got to get facts. And it's just the problem in our world, Jason, is there's not a lot of facts. You research online and some of it is not true. Lay that thinking down and come up to a higher level of thinking. Come up to a more divine level, and you will enjoy that better. Wallowing down in the earthly type of things is not always fun, and it doesn't always make you feel good. Of course, meat eaters like to be meat eaters, and so be a meat eater if you want to be a meat eater. But you can't get well, and you can't fix your problems eating meat. If they could, medical doctors would be the the practitioners that cure everybody, because they recommend high-protein diets every day of the week.